this matter. What we're expecting this afternoon is that the County Assembly of Meru will be tabling evidence before the Senate. Of course, this includes witnesses, if any, as well as an opportunity to cross-examine and re-examine these particular witnesses. So this afternoon, the Meru County Assembly will have an opportunity to table their evidence. Speaker is in the chambers. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast. Good afternoon.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with abundant favor and blessings us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you've committed to our charge. Amen. Okay, I'm informed we do have quorum. Kindly proceed to call the first order.
Order number 1, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 2, hearing and the determination of the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County.
Clerk, can you confirm that we have both parties in the House? And if they're not in, kindly usher them in so that we can start the hearing. I'm now informed that both parties are present. Now, before we begin the hearings this afternoon, this is to the parties. You note that the hearing program is pretty packed, and therefore we need to keep time. The time as in coming into the chamber, and time if you're allocated time within which to do an activity, then please restrict yourself to that particular amount of minutes that you've been given to undertake that particular activity. Now, if you look at the hearing program for the afternoon, we're now supposed to hear the evidence by the County Assembly. So the County Assembly will proceed to give their evidence in chief by calling the respective witnesses. Those witnesses will be cross-examined by the governor's team Thereafter, if need be, they will be re-examined. After that is done, the senators will have an opportunity to seek clarifications from the witness before that witness is stood down. We will proceed in that manner. County Assembly, it is now your turn to proceed.
Mr. Speaker and honorable senators, the Assembly is ready with the first witness. His name is Arimi Paul Mwaki. He will be examined by my learned friend, Mr. Mary Maranya.
Kindly usher in the witness.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Being mindful of time, may I allow me to start? Kindly, Mr. Witness, please introduce yourself for record
Clerk,
purposes.
let the witness take an oath
Oh,
first.
sorry.
Which faith do you ascribe to?
Christian.
Christian. Will you take your oath in Kiswahili or in
English.
So you hold the Bible in the right hand,
The right hand.
then you read the text in
Swahili.
I, Paul Mwaki Arimi, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate, in respect of the matters before the Senate, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Witness, kindly introduce yourself for purposes of record.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished senators, my name is Paul Mwaki Arimi.
Pero, did you record a statement in respect to the matter before the Senate today?
Yes, I did.
Where is that copy of your statement found?
Mr. Speaker,
For the
Volume 1, page 48, page 51 of Volume 1.
That is page 48 of volume
1.
Volume 1. Volume 1, honestly. Mr. Paul, what do you do for a living?
Honorable Senators, the witness has a statement. Which statement is contained in your bundles and also contained in your, apart from the physical booklets that you're holding, your iPads also contain soft copy. So, Council, maybe you will refer to the bundle
Yes.
where that statement is, so that you aid the senators to move in there
I will constantly be referring, Mr. Speaker, to two documents, that is Volume 1 and Volume 3. So, Honorable Speaker, I will constantly be referring to Volume 1, the Green booklet. I will also be making constant reference to Volume 2, the big group. Volume 2 is written at the top of Volume 2. Sorry, at the bottom. So, Mr. Paul, you indicated that your statement is filed on which page?
Volume 1, page 48 to page 51.
Page 48 of Volume 1. Honorable Speaker, I believe everybody, we are now together. Thank you. What do you do for a living?
Currently, I'm the CEO, Meru County Alcoholic Drinks Control Board.
For how long have you served as the CEO of the Liquor Board?
I started serving as CEO of Meru County Alcoholic Drinks Control Board from January 2018 until now. I'm supposed to be serving until now.
Very well. Who is your employer? Whom do you report to on a daily basis in your operation?
My employer is the board.
Your employer is the board. Please explain to this Honorable House what happened on the 6th of September 2022 in respect to your employment.
Respect to my employment, Mr. Speaker, on 6th of September, I was called together with my colleagues in heading other corporations, and we were served with a compulsory leave letter.
Compulsory, you are saying you were served. That indicates you and who?
Myself and my colleagues who are heading the other corporations.
Yourself and your colleagues who ends the corporations?
Yes.
Is it the entire corporations in Meru County or that particular, a few corporations?
On the 6th,
how many were you? In other
we were
words?
3. Those who received our letters were 3 on the 6th of September.
And yourself, that makes it 4.
There was a previous one which was issued on the 29th of August to my colleague, Dr. Ntoiti, who was heading Meru Revenue Board.
You said the date again, 29th of?
29th of August.
When was the governor of Meru, when did the governor of Meru take, when was she sworn in office?
The governor was sworn on 25th of August.
25th of August.
Yes.
When was her first day in the office?
I'm not certain the exact certain day that she was in office.
Yes.
But my colleague, Dr. Ntoiti, was served barely a weekend after the governor was inaugurated.
You said barely a weekend after the governor was sworn in.
Yes.
That is to indicate the governor, Dr. Ntoiti, was served the first day, or was sacked the first day the governor took office.
We can see that.
Is that your evidence?
That is true.
Prior to the letter setting you on compulsory leave, had you any interaction, any prior interaction with the governor?
Mr. Speaker, not at all.
Not at all. You've made reference to your letter setting you on compulsory leave. Would you guide the Senate, the Honorable Senate, on where the same can be filed? For purposes of record, so for following the proceedings, where can those documents be filed?
The compulsory leave letters can be found in Volume 2 from page 336.
306?
To 339.
Volume 2, Honorable
Volume 2, the big
Speaker,
volume.
I am making reference to the big booklet written Volume 2 at the top, at the bottom. You said the letters are found in pages?
336?
Yes.
To 339.
What was to happen to your institution once you were sent on compulsory leave? Who was to man the institutions?
Immediately we were sent on indefinite compulsory leave.
Yes.
Other persons were appointed in acting capacity.
Other persons were appointed in acting capacity.
Yes.
Were they formally appointed?
They were appointed from the office of the governor.
Are they formally appointed? Is there a formal appointment letter to that respect?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Where is the formal letters filed? Where are the formal letters appointing your representative filed?
Mr. Speaker, they are found on page 340 to
Yes.
342.
Pages 340 to pages 342 of which booklet?
Of volume 2, Mr. Speaker.
Of the same document, volume 2. Upon receiving the letters of sending you on compulsory leave, did you make any attempt to establish the cause, the charge, or the reason as to why that has happened a day or a few days into assuming office of the governor?
Mr. Speaker, we interrogated the letter and we found that it was not right, and we made several efforts.
Several efforts to do what?
Several efforts to be reinstated back to our offices because we thought we were sent home and procedurally.
You made some, sorry again, you made efforts to do what?
We made efforts to get reinstatement from the governor.
Did you have any audience with the governor over
Yeah.
the same, over the subject matter?
We had audience with the governor, we had audience with the county secretary on the same matter.
What did the county secretary in particular say?
The county secretary indicated to us that clearly we could not be reinstated because he was acting on the instructions of the governor herself.
Did you sit down with the governor over the same?
We did not get an opportunity to sit with the governor on the same
Yes.
later, but the county secretary gave us the instructions.
After you are unable to meet the governor personally, and the county secretary indicated that he had instructions from the governor not to allow you back, what did you do? What action did you take?
After all those efforts failed, Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
we made an application to court to seek redress and to seek reinstatement through the court.
Through the court. That is to mean that you filed a matter in court.
We filed a matter in court, Mr. Speaker.
Who are the you filed the matter alongside who? Who are the petitioners in the matter?
The petitioners were myself, the MD, Meru Revenue Board, Dr. John Toiti, Joseph Beria, the CEO, Meru Water Sanitation Services, and Kimadi, the end of Meru Microfinance Corporation, Mr. Speaker.
That is to mean that you are the first, you filed as first to fourth respondent.
We filed as,
petitioners.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And what did the court rule in respect to your matter?
The court issued a stay or conservatory orders reinstating us back to office, Mr. Speaker.
The court ruled that you be reinstated back to the office. What else did the court rule?
The court also further ruled that those who are in acting capacity in our place be removed from office or be issued with letters cancelling their appointment on acting capacity, Mr. Speaker.
Therefore, it's your evidence that the court ruled that you be returned back to work and letters of appointment of your predecessor be revoked. Is that so?
It's true, Mr. Speaker.
Did you, in your statement, annex that particular court order?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Where can the same be established?
We annexed
Filed?
the court order on volume 416, volume 2, page 416.
Volume 2, Speaker, the big booklet, pages?
416.
416?
Yes.
416, which contained two prayers, according to your evidence, one of reinstatement and the other one of revocation. Please confirm.
I can confirm that, Mr. Speaker.
And in compliance to that order, did you serve it upon the governor and the county secretary?
Yes, they were duly served, Mr. Speaker.
You were duly served.
Yeah.
How do you confirm to this honorable house that you did duly serve upon the governor and the county secretary the particular court order?
Through a notice of service.
You served?
Yes.
Upon service, what happened? Was the same respected? Was the same court order obeyed?
The court orders were disobeyed.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Please explain to the court how the same order were disobeyed.
Mr. Speaker.
Explain to the Senate, sorry.
Mr. Speaker, upon the court issuing orders,
yes,
there was a meeting conveyed at a place called Mitungu by the governor,
Yes.
in which the first gentleman in that meeting threatened to organize people to flush us out of office in case we went with that court order to report back to office, Mr. Speaker.
So who threatened the against disobedience of court order?
The first gentleman is the one who threatened to mobilize people to come and evict us.
Was the governor present in that particular meeting?
The governor was exactly present in that meeting, Mr. Speaker.
Do you have any evidence to that particular meeting you are making reference to?
The evidence is in a video form, Mr. Speaker.
In a video form. Honorable Speaker, the video, if, with your leave, maybe we can have the video played, the video in support of contempt of court be played to the court, to the Senate.
Mr. Speaker, that's the video in support of count 5.
Yes.
Hata koti ikisema urundi kwa ile ofisi, mtoiti sisi tunashikana na hawa maasra, tunakutoa pale. Sasa mtoiti wewe ndio tunafurusha. Hata koti ikisema urundi kwa ile ofisi, mtoiti sisi tunashikana na hawa maasra, tunakutoa pale. Mtoiti hautakaribia ile ofisi, na pia Mberia aambiwa kwamba hii ofisi ya MEWAS hata ikaribia.
In that video, did you hear the first gentleman mention the petitioners?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, he has mentioned Beria and my colleague Toiti.
And you would also wish that evidence of a video be part of your examination in chief?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Did you report back to the office?
Yes,
in compliance with the court order?
In compliance with the court order, Mr. Speaker, we reported back to office.
Yes.
And indeed, Mr. Speaker, the threat was actualized and we were chased out of office ruthlessly.
What do you mean by being chased out of the office ruthlessly?
There were people organized who evicted us from offices, Mr. Speaker.
So you are physically evicted from the office?
We are physically evicted from the office and the precincts of the offices.
The second limp of the court order talked of the governor revoking the appointment of those appointed in your capacity. Did those appointments, were those appointments revoked?
The appointments of those who were acting in place, Mr. Speaker, were never revoked at all.
They were never revoked at all. That's your statement.
Yes, Mr.
That is to mean that they are still acting as CEOs in your establishments?
Up to now, those letters have not been revoked, Mr. Speaker.
Are those CEOs still in office, in your respective offices?
Mr. Speaker, because they were acting in their inacting capacity,
yes.
Upon us obtaining contempt of court orders, we have been able to get back to office, and some of them have been reappointed back again under different capacity.
What happened after the court order was, you have jumped the gun, what happened after the court order was disobeyed, when you were evicted from the office? What happened? What action did you take?
Mr. Speaker, we made an effort, and we applied for contempt of court orders.
You applied for contempt of court orders?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Has the court pronounced itself on the contempt of court?
The court did pronounce itself on contempt of court.
Yes.
And convicted the governor and the county secretary and another of contempt of court.
Yes. So, sorry, the last bit,
They were cited, the governor was cited for contempt of court, Mr. Speaker.
The governor was cited for contempt of court. Do you have that particular order or a ruling to that effect, citing the governor for contempt of court?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Where can it be established for quick reference?
From page 418, Mr. Speaker.
We start with
of volume 2.
We start with the ruling. Where is the ruling found? Pages?
The ruling is on page 418.
Page 418 to pages. Of which volume? Of volume 2? Of volume 2. Pages 418 to pages?
Pages, the ruling is found on page 4 418, page 439.
Page 439. And the order, and the particular order setting governor for contempt is established, is found on pages?
It's found on page 440.
Pages 440.
And 441.
Of which, again, on which volume?
Volume 2.
On volume 2. According to those two court documents, was the governor found guilty of a court order?
Yes, he did. The governor was found guilty for contempt of court.
Was she punished accordingly?
The court scheduled a date for punishment.
Yes.
And the county secretary appeared in court to show cause why they should not be punished.
The county secretary on behalf appeared to demonstrate why they should not be punished. Did she appear?
He did appear, Mr. Speaker.
After appearing, what happened?
After appearing, a date was, the governor was ordered to reinstate us back to office under supervision of the county secretary, Mr. Speaker.
That is to mean, sorry, would you recall when the county secretary was instructed to take you back to the office? Would you recall?
I would recall, Mr. Speaker.
That is when?
That is on 23rd of last month. That is
23rd of September.
23rd of September.
That is barely 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, Mr. Speaker.
What happened to the punishment in respect to contempt of court? Was it administered at that time?
The court has rescheduled the punishment to today so that the county secretary can go back and prove whether they really or not.
It is your evidence that the court punishment was scheduled for today.
The punishment is scheduled for
which
today.
You may not tell what happened.
Which I may not tell the outcome, Mr. Speaker.
In all this saga, were your respective boards notified of the proceeding of what is happening? Your respective boards, you said the management of the board, the corporation are through the boards. Were they notified of what has been happening?
They weren't, Mr. Speaker.
Sorry?
They weren't.
They were not. Your letter of setting on compulsory leave talks of reason being to reorganize the board.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Have you ever, for the last 1 year, been called upon for reorganization of the board as a CEO?
Mr. Speaker, no.
Sorry?
No.
You have never been called upon?
Yes.
Does the governor has power over reorganization of matters in respect to your dependent corporations?
The semi-autonomous government agencies like our corporations are supposed to be reorganized by the boards.
By the board. Now, for the entire period of 1 year that you've been away, until only 14 days ago when you resumed your office as the CEO, were you getting your salaries?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Sorry?
Yes, I was earning my salaries while at home.
You were earning your salaries while at home?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Did the court order provide that you be paid your salaries? Did it address the question of you being paid your salaries while away for a whole year?
No, Mr. Speaker.
What stated that you'll be paid your salaries for the entire period that you'll be away?
The compulsory leave letter, which came from the office of the governor, is the one that indicated we shall be entitled to full pay and all benefits while we are home in indefinite
Therefore,
leave.
the compulsory leave stated that you'll be paid your full salary while you are at home?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And were you actually paid your full salary while at home?
Indeed, we were paid.
For the entire period?
For the entire period.
Do you have evidence to the effect that you continue to being paid salaries while you are not working?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Where are the copies for ease of reference again? Where are they being established? Found in this?
Volume 2, page 35.
Volume 2, pages 35.
To
pages number?
Let me correct it, please, Mr. Speaker. Volume 2, page 33. To pages 33, beginning from page 33 to page 41.
To pages 41.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And to this 1 year after, to this extent today, have you ever known the reason as to why you were sent on compulsory leave by the governor and the county secretary?
It has never been communicated to any one of us the reason for compulsory leave, Mr.
None of
Speaker.
you has ever known why you were sent on compulsory leave.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And you said that only 14 days ago, the governor complied with the court order and reinstated you back to your office alongside the acting CEOs. That was your evidence.
It is true.
What, in your opinion, why do you think the governor was able to comply with a court order a year after the initial order was granted?
Mr. Speaker, the governor may have complied basically because she had been found to be in contempt of court and her punishment was about to happen. And the next thing,
therefore, it's your evidence that she was fearing the looming punishment by the court?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
The next thing was?
The next thing was there was an impeding motion of impeachment a day to the day we were escorted back to office. And it was a ground.
Now, according to you, again, your opinion, who do you think is to blame for you being illegally sent on compulsory leave?
I would lay the blame on the governor herself.
Why do you say so? What is the foundation of your opinion?
Because the letters from the county secretary must have been, the county secretary indicated there were instructions from the governor.
Indicated that those were he is acting on the instructions of the governor?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Has the governor to date revoked the appointment of the persons meant to replace you?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Are they in the office?
They handed over, and then they were given other mandate again, Mr. Speaker. But their letters which appointed them to that office have not been revoked.
Their letters have not been revoked. Are they within the establishment for the last 2 weeks that you've been in the office?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Now, the governor argues that he was ordered by the court to pay you salary. What's your opinion on that? What is your take on that?
I don't agree with that, Mr. Speaker.
Why don't you agree?
It is because the issue of payment of our salaries where we are not working is in the compulsory leave letter which originated from the governor's office.
Did that court order in particular address the question of payment of salaries?
The court order addressed reinstatement and the revocation of appointment letters of those officers who are in
and revocation of the
capacity.
letters.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
I want to pen over that point. I will subject the witness, Honorable Speaker, to cross-examination.
Counsel for the Governor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Sir, it is my singular pleasure to take on this witness in cross-examination. My name is Elisha Ongoya. Allow me to start from where the witness has ended. Mr. Arimi Paul Mwaki.
Yes.
Is it your testimony before these distinguished senators that the court did not order that you be paid salaries?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much. May I have the witness's attention drawn to the index of annexures to the governor's response, in particular at page 402.
Counsel, refer to those bundles in terms of volumes for ease of reference. Huh?
You know, my apologies, Mr. Speaker. The governor just filed 3 documents, one called a response and one called index of annexures to the response. Then we have the transcript of videos. So just 3 documents.
Very well.
The biggest document in blue, the biggest volume in blue, page 402. Mr. Paul Mwaki Arimi, are we there?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I'm there.
Please confirm for these senators that that is a court order.
I can confirm, Mr. Speaker.
Page 402. The biggest blue volume, yes, at page 402. Thank you. Please confirm to these honorable senators that what you are seeing there is a court order.
I'm seeing a court order, Mr. Speaker.
The second petitioner, or the second applicant stroke claimant in that order is Paul Mwaki Arimi. True or not true?
True, Mr. Speaker.
And that Paul Mwaki Arimi is you, the Assembly's witness number 1 before this Senate.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Let us turn over to the second page, no, the next page, page 403 of that document. Confirm for the record that this is a continuation of that court order that began at page 402.
Confirmed, Mr. Speaker.
Please confirm, and I read, Order 6 reads as follows, that finally, Dr. Atheru is directed to file sufficient evidence in court within 7 days to show that all the petitioner's salary have been paid from May 2022 to date.
Confirmed.
Please confirm that it says.
Confirmed.
Are you among the petitioners who are being ordered, for whom that order is being made?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And that order relates to salary.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And Dr. Atheru has to confirm to court he has paid your salary.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
It is this salary that you are telling these senators was not paid pursuant to a court order.
I did not indicate salary was not paid, Mr. Speaker.
It is the one you said the payment was not pursuant to a court order. It was pursuant to the compulsory leave letter. You remember that indication?
I will not agree with that because there are 2 court orders. The court order.
Didn't talk about how many court orders. I've just said I am looking at a court order referring to a salary.
Yes.
Are we communicating?
Yes, I agree.
But you have also told these distinguished senators that your salary was not paid pursuant to a court order. It was paid pursuant to the letter sending you on compulsory leave. Do you remember saying that?
I don't remember saying that.
You don't remember? I'm happy with that. The record will bear me out. The record.
Excuse me, Mr. Speaker.
My apologies. I've finished my question.
Excuse me, Mr. Speaker.
I have finished my question. I'm going to the next. Kindly serve my time. We have only 4 hours to finish with your case.
Okay.
Allow me to pick the second limb of argument. And, Your Honor, may I request that the video in support of count number 5 that was played here be played.
Sasa mtoiti wewe ndio tunafurusha. Hata koti ikisema urudi kwa ile ofisi. Mtoiti sisi tunashikana na hawa maasra tunakutoa pale. Mtoiti hautakaribia ile ofisi na pia mbele.
Sorry, I wanted the clip to remain visible so that the witness can identify something in the clip. Okay, my apologies. Pause the video. Sorry, my apologies. I may have slipped the tongue. Did I? Kindly play and pause.
Counsel, I hope you're not assuming I'm in that video.
My apologies, Mr. Speaker. It was a complete slip of the tongue. I couldn't even remember saying it. My deepest apologies. Sadly, Mr. Speaker, I don't even know who is playing, so I can't even look at whoever is playing. I'm just seeing the screen. May I have the video replayed?
Sasa mtoiti wewe ndio tunafurusha.
Thank you. Mr. Witness, who is that person standing behind the person speaking?
Mr. Speaker, that is the face of the Deputy Governor, County Government of Meru.
That is the Deputy Governor, County Government of Meru, behind the person speaking. True or not true?
True.
This video was played, and I may urge it to be replayed. Have you seen the governor in that video?
I've not seen the governor there.
Sasa mtoiti wewe ndio tunafurusha. Hata koti ikisema urudi kwa ile ofisi. Mtoiti sisi tunashikana na hawa maasla, tunakutoa pale. Mtoiti hautakaribia ile ofisi, na pia Mberia aambiwa kwamba hii ofisi ya MEWAS hata ikaribia.
Okay. You spoke when your microphone was off. I want the record to capture you, so I'll ask the question again.
Yes, please.
Have you seen the governor in that clip from beginning to end?
Up to where the clip is, I have not seen the governor.
This clip was presented here by your team, so we don't know whether there's a further continuation of that clip. Are you suggesting it continues beyond where it has reached?
It can continue, Mr. Speaker. I'm suggesting you can continue.
Let me get a precise answer to my question. Have you seen the governor in the whole of that clip?
I said no.
Your case before this Senate is that the governor should be held responsible for the utterances of that gentleman speaking.
Exactly, Mr. Speaker.
I'm happy and I understand what your case is. I want you to look at your volume 1, the Assembly's documents, volume 1, at page 7.
Yes, I'm there.
Confirm for the record that it says, page 7, volume 1. Page 7 of volume 1 of the County Assembly's document. That page 7 starts with a paragraph numbered C.
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you. The grievance in that paragraph is paying full salary and benefits for more than a year to Dr. Ntoiti, Paul Mwaki, 𝐊𝐀𝐖𝐈𝐑𝐀. My question to you is this the same salary we have seen in the order of court at page 403 of the governor's document?
It's the same salary?
It's the same salary, thank you. Are you complaining for having been paid this salary?
Yes, I'm complaining, Mr. Speaker.
For having been paid this salary?
For having been paid the salary without offering the services to the taxpayers from Meru.
Order, senators. Order, senators. I order, honorable senators. Sergeant at Arms, kindly go up there and tell the members of public the only thing we need from them are their ears and their eyes, nothing more.
May I proceed, Mr. Speaker, sir? May I proceed, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you so much. When were you paid this salary? When did you see it in your account?
At the end of the month is where normally salaries get into our accounts.
Just want the record to be clear when, say end of September, end of October, so that the record is clear.
As per attached pay slips, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, may I kindly get the witness to answer my question so that I make progress? When were you paid this salary? Which month? Which end of which month?
At the end of every month from the time we were sent on compulsory leave. But
when did this payment, when this cash land in your account? When did you see this money in your account that you have been paid?
It's not on regular dates because it's paid on monthly basis. It's not paid on lump sum.
When were you first paid this salary? When was the first time?
Immediately we were sent home, we received the salary. That is in the end of September 2022.
Have you made any efforts to return this money to the county government since you are aggrieved by the payment?
I'm not supposed to do so, Mr. Speaker.
Have you made any effort to return this money to the county government?
I haven't.
You haven't. Let me clarify something for this information, for the record of this senator. It is true that Mr. Maranya advocate appearing before you here today is your advocate in that court case. True or not true?
True, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. That matter came up in court today. True or not true?
I'm not sure, Mr. Speaker, but it was supposed to come up today for...
That matter was supposed to come up today in court at Meru.
But I'm not sure whether it came up or not.
I'm asking, it was supposed to come up today.
It was.
At the Employment and Labor Relations Court in Meru. True or not true?
True.
Has your advocate briefed you on whether or not, as a matter of fact, it came up?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. We can live with that. When were you sent on compulsory leave?
I was sent on compulsory leave together with two others on 6th of September in the year 2022.
6th September 2022. When did the court give the conservatory order in petition number 1 of 2022 at Meru?
Conservatory orders were issued on 7th of October 2022.
Was that before or after the governor's first impeachment proceedings or removal proceedings for this House?
It was before the first impeachment motion was tabled.
This was before the first impeachment proceedings for this House?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Did you make this grievance part of that impeachment process?
It didn't come to this place, Mr. Speaker, so we didn't make it part of it.
I didn't understand your answer. You did suggest that that didn't come to Senate?
We didn't make it part of the grounds for impeachment.
You didn't make that grievance part of the first impeachment?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
It is that ground that arose well before the first impeachment that is being made the part of this impeachment?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Allow me to briefly take you to page 336 to 339 of volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents.
Pages 336
to 339.
Yes, I'm there.
Is that letter authored by the governor?
The letter is authored by the...
No, just answer my question. Is it authored by the governor?
No.
Is it copied to the governor?
No.
Let's look at a document at page 337. Is that letter authored by the governor?
It's not authored by the governor.
I'm going with the same volume, volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents, volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents. May I describe it as the big green volume? So we are now looking at page 337.
Yes.
And I'll repeat the question for the benefit of the distinguished members who hadn't seen the document. Is that letter authored by the governor?
No.
Is it copied to the governor?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Let's look at page 339 following. Is that letter authored by the governor? My apologies. Thank you so much, Senator. 338. My apologies. 338.
No, Mr. Speaker.
Is it copied to the governor?
No.
You have said, correct me if I got you wrong, that the author of this letter said that he was acting on the instructions of the governor. Did I get you right?
You got me right.
The body of that letter has only 3 sentences. At page 336, the body of the letter, page 336, has only 3 sentences.
Yes.
Which of the 3 sentences, you can use first, second, or third, which of the 3 sentences says that the author says he was acting on the instructions of the governor?
None.
None. If I got you right, the evidence of the compulsory leave letters is to be found at pages 336 to which page?
Page 338.
To 338.
Yes.
Which of those letters is addressed to you?
The one addressed to me is not attached here, Mr. Speaker, but this is a sample because all the letters add the same information except our names only.
To save time, are you saying that of all the letters presented to this Senate to support that point, none is addressed to you, the witness on the stand?
The samples here, none
Is that what you're saying? Am I saying the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. When you are employed in the county government of Meru, was your employment letter under the hand of the governor?
The governor gazetted me, Mr. Speaker.
The governor?
Gazetted.
Was the gazette notice under the hand of the governor?
Of course, it is the governor who gazettes.
I've asked you a simple question, not what of course it is. I'm asking what in fact it was. Are we communicating?
Yes.
Was the gazette notice under the hand of the governor?
I just know there was a gazette notice. I don't know who said.
Mr. Speaker, my question is not ambiguous. I would rather the witness is ordered to answer my question.
Yes, it is the governor.
Have you presented that gazette notice anywhere in the documents you have given this Senate?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Does the governor prepare the payroll for your payment to your knowledge?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Let me just get this right. It is that person who is not responsible for your name on the payroll. It is that person who didn't author these letters at page 336 to 338. It is that person who was not copied in these letters from page 336 to 338. It is that person who didn't speak in that meeting you have just showed us on that clip that you want this Senate to impeach. Am I getting your case right?
Correct.
Thank you. Allow me to refer you to yet another document, which is the ruling of the Employment and Labor Relations Court in Meru. And for ease of time, I want us to go to page 436 of volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents. Page 436. Please confirm. My apologies.
A moment. Yes, I'm on page 436.
Just for the record, I want you to confirm that that is a part of the ruling of the Employment and Labor Relations Court at Meru.
I confirm.
I want us to read paragraph 34 so that you confirm whether I'm reading it correctly, just for the sake of the Hansard of this House. In view of the matters and findings made herein above, it is clear that all the three thresholds for contempt of court have been proved by evidence and to the required standard. Consequently, I must cite the respondents for contempt for disobeying the order issued by Marete J on 7th October 2022. Confirm that after that, the order says the county secretary, Mr. Rufus Miriti, is the head of the county public service and is the one who wrote the impound compulsory leave letters. Therefore, he was the proper person to ensure that the court orders were complied with by ensuring that the applicants are allowed back to their offices and all their salaries were duly paid. Am I reading it correctly?
Correctly.
For completeness of record, confirm that the court is also referring to that your salaries be fully paid.
Reinstated and fully paid.
Yes, the court ruling is talking about to ensure that your salaries are duly paid.
Confirm.
Thank you. And therefore, it is not correct to say that your salaries were not paid pursuant to a court order. It is not correct.
It is not correct what you are saying.
Yes, if I said that your salaries were not paid pursuant to a court order, I will not be speaking the truth.
You would be lying.
I'll be lying. And therefore, when you told this Senate that your salaries were not paid pursuant to a court order, you equally were lying.
I am not lying.
The court order at paragraph 34, the court ruling at paragraph 34 identifies by name and office the person who was responsible or the proper person to ensure that those court orders were complied with. Does it?
Yes, it identifies.
Whose name is it?
The name is the person and the office, County Secretary Rufus.
Now I want you to give me the name.
Rufus Miriti.
Rufus Miriti. The office is?
County Secretary.
County Secretary. That person is not facing impeachment before this Senate, is he?
Exactly.
Is that person facing impeachment in the Senate?
No.
Whom did the court summon to attend court and purge the contempt?
The court invited the County Secretary.
By name?
Dr. Kiambi Atheru.
Dr. Kiambi?
Atheru.
Veru. Is that person before this Senate facing impeachment?
Not.
Let's go to page 438 of volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents. Page 438 in particular, paragraph 37B.
I'm there.
Is that the paragraph summoning Rufus Miriti or his successor in title?
Yes.
That title would be the title of County Secretary. True or not true?
True.
Is any of those people, either Rufus Miriti or his successor, before this Senate for impeachment?
No.
Did I hear you to say that the governor appeared in court?
You did. I didn't say that.
You didn't say that. I'm happy. I just want clarification. So if you didn't say that, I'm happy with it. Did I hear you to say that you got audience with the governor over your compulsory leave matter?
Yes, through the County Secretary, I said.
You got audience with the governor?
Through the County Secretary.
I want to get this right. The county has an officer called County Governor.
Yes.
True or not true?
Yes, we did.
The county has another officer called County Secretary. True or not true?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
I'm asking the first officer, county governor. Did I hear you to say you got audience with that person?
We sought audience through the county secretary.
Did you get it?
We didn't get
You didn't
the
get
audience
it.
of the governor directly.
So you never spoke to the governor over this matter directly?
Instead, we spoke to the county secretary.
So you never spoke directly to the county governor over this matter?
Yes.
In the course of the proceedings in Meru Employment and Labor Relations Court petition number 1 of 2022, you once filed an application to have Mr. Murega Baichu made a party to those proceedings. Do you remember that?
Yes, we did.
You filed to have Mr. Murega Baichu made a party because you believed he must be held personally responsible for his own actions or words.
Yes.
Before this Senate, you believe the governor is now the one to be held responsible for the words of Mr. Murega Baichu.
Yes, I believe.
I'm happy with that, and that is all in my cross-examination of this witness.
Counsel for the County Assembly, any re-examination?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, and it will be done by my colleague, Mr. Eric Muriuki.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Eric Muriuki, Advocate of the High Court. I shall be conducting the re-examination. Now, Mr. Paul Mwaki.
Yes, please.
You are referred to two orders. The first order is the order that is on page 7th of October, 2022.
Yes, you referred me to that.
Have you seen that order?
I know it.
That is the order on page
460.
440 of volume 2. Is that order different from the order on page 402 of the governor's documents?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, they are different.
On page 402 of the governor's index of documents,
Yes.
I want you to tell me, at the top of that order, where does the story of payment of salaries come in?
It comes on item number 1.
What is the heading of where that is explained?
That it says that all the salaries have been paid.
No, what is the title?
The title is in open court via Teams on the 19th of October 2023 before the Honorable Justice Onesimus N. Makau.
Confirm that the issue of salary is brought in as an explanation, or rather as a way of mitigation, for the respondents to avoid being punished for contempt of court.
I do confirm.
present-day Parliament building along Parliament Road in Nairobi is among Kenya's most iconic landmarks. This Victorian architectural masterpiece is where our elected representatives meet to make laws that affect our country and by extension anyone living in it. But Parliament building hasn't always been on this spot. The journey that led to the laying of the foundation stone of Parliament as we know it today began over 100 years ago. Being a British colony, the first recorded sitting of Parliament was that of the Colonial Legislative Council in August 1907. It was composed of 7 members and was chaired by the then Governor, Sir James Hayes Sadler. The all-whites Legislative Council comprised 4 ex officio and 3 official members, all nominated by the Governor. This first meeting was held in an old wooden and corrugated iron sheets building off the then White House Road, where the current Railway Golf Club stands, off the present-day Haile Selassie Avenue in Nairobi. For the next 13 years, the Legislative Council met in that humble building or at Government House in either Nairobi or Mombasa. In 1920, accommodation for the Legislative Council was rented in the Memorial Hall, which is today's Bank of India, along Kenyatta Avenue, where it was hosted until 1953. During the period of tenancy at Memorial Hall, various milestones were achieved. In October 1944, the Governor nominated Eliud Mathu to represent the African interests in the Council by taking the place of one European who represented the Africans. Mathu became
In this regard, I have appointed Francis Mungai as the General Manager for Meru County Revenue Board, replacing Mr. John Ntoiti, and Frinda Kawira as the Director, replacing 𝐊𝐀𝐿. I have also ordered, 1, the board to release all items that had been confiscated by the former regime.
Okay, that is enough. So on that page, or on that press release, who is taking responsibility for the decision to make these changes in the semi-autonomous government organizations?
It's Governor Kawira Mwangaza.
Thank you. And when you look at the letters that you are referred to on pages 336 to 339,
yes.
Who does the letter say has made a decision? It is a fairly short letter. Just read.
It says the decision.
Just read the body of the letter.
Page 336, volume 2.
Volume 2, page 336.
This is to notify you that the government has decided.
Pause. That who?
The government has decided.
That the government has decided. And to your knowledge, who heads the government or the county government?
It's the governor.
Meru. In Meru particularly?
It's the governor, Mr. Speaker.
The name of the governor?
The governor. Kawira Mwangaza.
In Meru particularly?
The governor, Mr. Speaker.
The name of the governor?
Kawira Mwangaza.
I want you to look at I want you to look at $340. Page 340 of volume 2, of our volume 2.
Yes, I'm there.
Can you see the letter there?
I can see the letter.
Who is it addressed to?
It's addressed to one Tony Kirima.
And whose position is this letter referring to?
Can you repeat the question?
Whose position in the liquor board is this letter referring to?
Mr. Speaker, it is referring to the same position I was holding and the one that I'm holding.
Position that you are occupying.
Yes.
Thank you. And you will also confirm that from the ruling on page 416, or rather the order on page 416
And 15?
of volume 2, volume 2, the Assembly's document.
416?
Yes. Are you there?
I'm there.
Who are the petitioners or the claimants?
The petitioners are Joseph Beria, Paul Mwaki Aremi, Dr. John Toiti, 𝐊𝐀𝐖𝐈𝐑𝐀.
And which one are you among those ones?
I'm Paul Mwaki Aremi.
Thank you. I will then take you to still that order that is on page 416, where on that order, does it talk about salaries? Does it talk about payment of your salary?
It doesn't talk about salaries, Mr. Speaker.
So the order that came out on, or that is dated 7th October 2022 does not talk about salaries.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And let's go to the contempt of court ruling and order that is now coming in a year later. Let us go straight to the order. And that is on
Page 440.
yes, page 440. This order is coming in respect, this contempt of court order is coming in respect of which previous order?
It's coming in respect to the order of 7th October of 2022.
That is at paragraph 4. Thank you. The order on page 440, you're still there,
Yes.
at paragraph 5. Can you read the first line?
That the respondent be cited for contempt of court and be committed to a civil jail for a term of 6 months until they purge the contempt and comply with the orders of this honorable court issued on the 7th of October, the year 2022.
Can you confirm that it refers to the respondents, plural?
Yes, I do.
And who are the respondents on that order, as you can see it?
County Secretary, County Government of Meru, Meru County Public Service Board, and the Governor, County Government of Meru.
So you confirm that there is a conviction against the governor, County Government of Meru, based on that order?
I do.
I will again take you to the ruling, page 437 of volume 2.
Yes, I'm there.
437 of volume 2.
Yes, please.
At the bottom, the sentence that is starting with however. Can you please read and then read on the next page?
However, before passing sentence against the respondents are invited to attend this court through the County Secretary, Mr. Rufus Miriti, or his successor in title, to show cause why the court should not punish them for disobeying the court orders issued on 7th of October, 2022.
So it is your testimony that the respondents are invited through the County Secretary, or rather the County Secretary is invited on behalf of all the respondents?
Yes, I confirm that.
And on paragraph 37, subparagraph A, that is on page 438 still.
Yes.
Does it say, what does it say? Paragraph A, just the first sentence?
That the respondents are hereby cited for contempt of this court. This court's orders issued on 7th October 2022 by failing to allow the applicants back to their offices.
Thank you. So you will confirm that these rulings, these orders issued by the court through and through refers to all the respondents in that application for contempt of court?
Yes, I confirm.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is my example.
Now, honorable senators, you have an opportunity to seek for clarification either from the witness or the counsel for the witness. That is the counsel for the county assembly. Or you may ask questions to the witness. Senator Sigay.
Thank you, Mr.
Your
Speaker.
questions should be direct to the point. Don't
Yes,
give
yes, it
speeches.
is. I want to seek clarification from Mr. Witness or his counsel with regards to the establishment of the entity called Meru Alcoholic Control Board with regards to two things. One, paragraph 1 of your affidavit make reference to a semi-autonomous entity, and the allegation make reference to non-reference to the board. I'd like to know whether the board is a statutory organ or it is what you have referred to as a semi-autonomous entity.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The body is established through a County Assembly Act of 2014. So in that case, we can say it is backed by law.
Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the witness in relation to page, just the court order just refers to, in page number, the court order relating to, by Justice Jage. I want to ask, there are quite a number of parties. There are 4 parties and 3 parties ending with the county governor. Was this court order specifically ordered against the governor of Meru, or it was ordered for all the parties appearing there, including the county secretary?
It was ordered for all of them.
Senator Mungatana.
Mr. Speaker, Rule 23 of the third schedule of our standing orders allows me to ask questions to the counsel. So this is not to the witness, Mr. Speaker. It's just a clarification. Mr. Speaker, Counsel Thiankolu gave an allegory where he talked about the monarch of Russia, and he said that Nicholas I, before he passed the execution, he asked the person who was bringing the order whether the convicted person said anything. Mr. Speaker, he seemed to suggest, and I want a clarification from him, because that fellow said that in Russia, it seems that they can't do even the ropes properly, suggesting that they can't do anything properly. And then he juxtaposed that allegory to the trial that was conducted by the Senate here. Mr. Speaker, I was listening carefully. I want him to clarify, did he mean that the Senate was behaving like Russia? It couldn't do a proper job. It couldn't do a rope. Mr. Speaker, can he clarify? Because we didn't take it very kindly.
Counsel.
Mr. Speaker, what I meant in that allegory was that Kondraty Ryalev, having miraculously escaped execution, would have saved his life by stopping the very acts that had condemned him to death in the first place, which was subversive utterances against the monarch. And what I meant is that the Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, having survived the first impeachment, which was based on specified allegations, would have been expected to refrain from the acts and omissions that triggered that impeachment motion, which she hadn't. Number two, it would have been expected Kawira Mwangaza, as part of the vilification, would not have gone berating this house itself, and when we get there, we'll be playing a video for you. When Kawira asked, after they took me to the Senate, what happened to me? Nothing happened. Kaende, kaende. And therefore, that's why we said, this time, we urge you to repeat the execution of Kawira, and we see whether the rope will break again.
Well, I hope that explanation is adequate to the issue raised by Mungatana. Senator Sifuna.
Mr. Speaker, I want to direct my question at Counsel for the Assembly, who unfortunately is my former classmate, but I want to understand the propriety of basing an impeachment proceeding on a matter that you have confirmed yourselves is still live in court. We here in the Senate are prevented from discussing matters that are live before the courts before a decision is made. What is the propriety of you basing a claim of, breach of the law or misconduct on a matter that is still live before a court of law that was coming for a decision today?
Counsel.
The answer is as follows, Mr. Speaker. The question of contempt of court is not pending in court. We have a conviction before you. We have an order before you. We have a sentencing before you. That order, as we speak, has not been set aside by a higher court. As a matter of fact, the room for challenging that order in a higher court expired a long time ago because you have only 14 days to appeal. That's the first answer, Mr. Speaker. The second answer, which is very specific to this process before you, is that the governor went to court. When this motion before you was labeled, she went before the High Court in Meru in petition number 24. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, I don't seem to recall the number. It's not 24, but she went to court in Meru before the Honorable Justice Cherere to stop this process on that very ground that it was sub judice. The court refused. She returned to the court again. The court refused. She went to the Court of Appeal at Nyeri, trying to stop the process before you, claiming that impeachment cannot be based on matters that are before court. And again, the Court of Appeal refused. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, when we were in the Court of Appeal, one of the questions we asked is how can a convictee whose conviction has not been set aside, who has been disobeying a court order for a year, be the one now telling you every word about court orders?
Senator Chute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question will go to the witness. Mr. Witness, will I be wrong if I tell you you belong to Committee Maximum because you've admitted before this Honorable House that you've been receiving money for months and months illegally, and you've accepted before this House that you've been receiving it illegally. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
You would not be telling the truth, Mr. Speaker, because we have made numerous efforts to be allowed back to office and serve, even through the court, but you are not allowed. The person culpable is the one paying us for service not rendered.
Senator Osotsi.
This is to the witness, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, looking at the application for this case and even the ruling, the governor is listed as respondent number 3. That is after the county secretary and the Meru County Public Service Board. Is this an admission that the governor is not directly involved in matters of HR, recruitment, and appointment?
It's not an admission.
Senator Roba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to ask the same question, but phrased differently. Mr. Paul Mwaniki is appearing as a key witness on behalf of the county assembly. And he is here to give witness on what he found extremely wrong of receiving salary for work not done. And he has admitted that as being wrong. Now, if your convictions are true, shouldn't it have bothered you enough for you to have considered refunding or refusing the acceptance? And accepting the money for this long and appearing as a witness to admit that before this, why didn't you, consider not accepting if you considered it was wrong? Thank you.
Thank you. It is wrong legally to receive pay for service not rendered or work not done. What we did as victims of this is we have sought legal redress for a full year from last year up to now, seeking to be allowed to get back and work. Yet still, we have not been terminated from work. What you have been given is a mandatory indefinite leave without any reason. So there would be no issue of refunding monies without any clear structures of how this one should be done. So we have been in court, struggling to be allowed to work. The person culpable is this one sending us on a compulsory indefinite leave with even a reminder that you will be paid all the services where you are home. Indeed, it is impressive.
Just to be clear, witness, this is the question that I help you out. You've indicated that you have received, you've been receiving these salaries.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
This is a question from the senator.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And you've indicated that you ought not have received this money because it is taxpayers' money.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So the question that the senator posed then is, did you make an effort
we made efforts through the court
or to refund?
We did not make efforts to refund, but you made efforts to get back to work.
Very well. Senator 𝐊𝐀𝐂𝐄𝐒.
My question goes to Mr. Speaker, sir. My question goes to Counsel for the County Assembly. On trial is the Governor of Meru, and one of the grounds is contempt of court. In the evidence that you have laid before this court, are you able to point out to me specifically where the governor is condemned? Specifically where the governor is condemned?
Counsel.
Or convicted of that contempt?
Mr. Speaker, if you open page 440 of our volume 2, the court order, as you note, and has been pointed out previously, this was a case filed against the governor together with 2 other officials. And whenever this order or even the ruling before it talks about the respondents, every reference to the respondents in this order is a reference to the 3 persons who include the governor. And therefore, where a court, as you find in page 441, it says the respondents, who we agree include the governor, paragraph 1 at page 441, the respondents are hereby cited for contempt of this court's order issued on 7th October 2022 by failing to allow the applicants back to their offices. Unless the governor says she was not one of the respondents who are condemned here, then she is one of the people who are condemned, and it is not necessary that she be specifically mentioned when they have been found jointly and severally, that's the legal language, jointly and severally culpable.
Senator Chiranke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, mine is a very quick clarification or guidance from the Council of the Governor. When you look under Article 183, functions of the county executive, which encompasses county governor, county deputy governor, and CECs, I invite him to give me an interpretation of Article 183 in the interest of time, Part C. It says, and allow me, Mr. Speaker, sir, to read, a county executive committee shall, 1, Part C, manage and coordinate the functions of the county administration and its departments. So I want to get clarification and maybe guidance from the council of the, on the part of the interpretation on the role of the county executive or county committee member. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir.
Council, did you get that correctly? Did you get the question with clarity?
Sadly, Mr. Speaker, I didn't get the question with clarity. I wondered if the Honorable Senator could clarify the particular aspect of Article 183 that he desires my clarification on. I'll gladly do that.
Senator Chirange, the clarification must relate to what the council handled during the cross-examination. You cannot pick something totally out of that space and seek his clarification. He should clarify on what he said.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I needed the interpretation of Article 183, 1C on the role of county executive vis-a-vis, because in a cross-examination, he had indicated that the county secretary should be the one being impeached instead of the governor. That's why I'm inviting him to clarify under Article 183, 1C on the functions of the county executive. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Council.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Very briefly, the government, either the national or the county level, is a complex whole, but our constitutional and legal order recognizes that government works through the agency of state and public officers. And wrongdoing in law is individual. Wrongdoing in law is not collective. It's in that respect that we beseech the county assembly to give us a case that shows the individual wrongdoing of the governor or the imputability of the acts of any other functionary in the county government to the governor. The governor is here on trial. You try people for their wrongdoing, and that's my humble view. And thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My question is to Council for the County Assembly. and it's in respect of the clip that was played here. Is it your view that a leader takes responsibility for utterances of their spouse?
If it's a strictly legal question, Mr. Speaker, of course, the law was changed a long time ago. Spouses don't take responsibility for the actions of the others. But that's as far as the legalese and the splitting of heirs is concerned. The matter before you is not about criminal or civil liability in a court of law. It is about accountability. It is about the values in our Constitution. If a governor perpetually provides a forum through which our spouse is making utterances that are inflammatory, that could easily lead to violence, as we'll show you, and it is a function hosted by the governor, and on each occasion, the governor does not disown those statements. In the case of the musical performances, we'll show you the governor even dancing and enjoying the music, demonstrating to the huge crowds wenye wivu wajinyonge. That is why, Mr. Speaker, when you read the motion before you, it is not talking just about specific acts of the governor. It is also talks about complicity and condoning. If we were in a court of law, we would call it aiding and abetting. But because it's not a court of law, that's why we have chosen the language complicity and connivance in things. First of all, it's a program, it's a session held by the governor. And if that were the law, even in a court of law, Mr. Speaker, and our laws on ethics and integrity, there is indeed, if you see the laws we have cited, a provision for acting through others. And in this case, we want to suggest to you that the governor was acting, as was the case before when we were here, through her husband. Thank you.
Senator Boni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like the counsel for the County Assembly to help me. And I'm happy to be reminded that he teaches law to our children. Mr. Speaker, the country has seen in that video that the governor of Meru was not in that video. Her voice was not heard in that video. So what I would like you to help me, teacher of law, is the legal high standard of fishing expedition. Would you like to stand down that video purely because your witness has confirmed to this Senate and the whole Republic that the governor was not there, her voice was not heard? And if you still stand that you don't want to stand down the evidence, do you want to teach students at the university that they can edify something that lacks moral and intellectual instruction to a council?
Mr. Speaker, I've now found the volume setting the relevant law. It is volume 3 of the County Assembly's document in answer to the question by the Honorable Senator Kalwale. At page, I believe, 37 of our Bado volume 3, we have reproduced section 24, page 37 of the Assembly's volume 3, we have produced Section 24 of the Public Officer Ethics Act. And it is clear from that Section 1, for purposes of compliance with Chapter 6, one can take responsibility for acting through others. And in this case, we humbly submit the governor has been acting through her husband. Number 2, this is how, Mr. Speaker, you know the governor was acting through her husband. In October 2022, the husband is seen on the video saying, "These officers shall never return to office, court order or no court order." And true to his utterance, the governor ensures that they don't return for a full 365 days. And while at it, Mr. Speaker, in any event, I keep repeating, there is a conviction as we speak. And that conviction is res judicata. That is to say, that matter is closed as a legal question because it has not been appealed to a higher court within the time required by law. So as we speak right now, the governor is actually a convict. And those are not my words. There is a court order to that effect.
Now, honorable senators, we have 6 more witnesses to call. And if you read the program, we are supposed to stretch it to 7 p.m. And therefore, I will take one clarification from this side and another one here. Most of these clarifications, you'll pick them as we hear the witnesses. Senator Haji Faki.
Mine is to both the council and council for the county assembly and the witness. There were proceedings before the High Court in Meru where the county secretary, according to the judgment and according to the ruling, was found to be guilty of contempt. And the matter is still ongoing. The punishment has not been meted. Now, isn't that subjecting the governor to a double jeopardy? Because he is facing the proceedings before the court in Meru are still alive. And counsel for the governor said earlier that they were actually in court this morning. And here we are, you want us to impeach the governor based on the same set of facts. Isn't this a double jeopardy, which in law is not allowed? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, that's a legal question. I heard it was addressed to both me and the witness. I don't know whether the witness is able to answer.
Proceed. He belongs to your side. You can answer for him.
First of all, Mr. Speaker, it is not correct to say that the question of whether the governor is guilty of contempt is in court. What is in court is the question of sentencing. The question of liability is settled. The only other thing that is in court is the question of purging the contempt. So there is no question of double jeopardy. As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, the rule of double jeopardy does not apply to proceedings of impeachment. There are several rulings by the Supreme Court itself that says, and I can quote the Sonko case, the Martin Nyaga-Wambora case, that say impeachment is not about civil or criminal liability. It is about political accountability. It is about ethics. It is about the type of leadership, the type of persons we want holding certain offices. And that is why you find the Article 181 is about may be removed on any of the following, and it talks of gross misconduct. Gross misconduct need not even be a criminal or civil offense. It can be anything that attracts serious moral censure. It talks of gross violation of the Constitution or other law. And in short, all we're saying, the Supreme Court has already answered this question of double jeopardy. And that is why even the Court of Appeal itself and the High Court in Meru, guided by the Supreme Court, refused to stop this Senate from sitting on these charges and making it whatever decision it will make, because the courts have already confirmed it is not about legalese and splitting legal heirs or civil or criminal liability. It's a question whether the governor accused of the things we are accusing her and which will prove is the type of governor we want to see holding a public office within the meaning of Chapter 6 of our Constitution. It is not a legal matter, Mr. Speaker. And I'm lastly told, if this can be let to happen, then all I need to always avoid impeachment, which is actually what the governor tried to do at the High Court and the Court of Appeal, why she failed. All I need to ensure as a governor, if this were unanswered, to ensure Article 81 is dead, is to ensure whenever I commit a breach of the Constitution, there is a court case like happened in this matter, where proxies were obtained to file various suits in court so that they can come under the pretext. And even in your own standing orders, Mr. Speaker, as well as those of the County Assembly, you will note the mere fact that a matter is in court does not stop the Senate or even the National Assembly. You can even take notice, Mr. Speaker, that as we speak, there has been a matter in Shakahola, which is in various courts, criminal courts, and I've seen committees of parliament examining the same persons who are facing not just employment courts here, but actually criminal courts, and nothing has stopped either the Senate or the National Assembly. And that is why even your standing orders give the Speaker the latitude to decide whether a matter that is in court should nonetheless be deliberated upon and a decision made by Parliament, in this case the Senate, as the representative of the public conscience.
Lastly, Senator Veronica.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just a clarification from the Council for the County Assembly of Meru. We have seen this judgment, is it a ruling, the one that you are relying on the contempt proceedings? And 37C on page, I think you know where it is. 37C talks about the respondents not having the audience of the court until the contempt is purged. I think the witness has confirmed that he's now being paid, they have been reinstated, or did I get it wrong? I hope that's the correct position. Council, do you treat that as a purge to that contempt? Now that that is no longer, those offenses are no longer taking place and they have been reinstated, would you treat that as a purge? And I know that the sentencing is awaiting before the court. And if the sentencing is awaiting, would you still say the matter is not pending before court?
Mr. Speaker, them being denied audience is part of the standard rules that govern contempt of court. If you're convicted, like the governor has been, you're denied audience until you purge the contempt. The governor has, of course, attempted to purge this contempt as we speak. I use the word attempted because the witness told you the letters appointing his replacements have not been recalled. They have not been rescinded. So that as we speak, we have the witness here and his 3 colleagues who are the substantive office holders, and then we have the other persons who are also in acting capacity. The purging of a contempt, Mr. Speaker, is something in the realm of mitigation of sentence. That's why you're denied audience until you purge it. So the fact that someone has purged the contempt does not undo the conviction. The conviction still remains, and as we speak, even if she purges and apologizes and recites whatever prayer about it, it will always remain the record of the court that she was convicted, and that conviction has not been set aside.
And this witness at that. Now, as we prepare to usher in the second witness, pursuant to Rules 23 of third schedule of the Standing Orders of the Senate, as a speaker, I do not have that latitude to ask for any clarification or ask questions. However, if the integrity of the institution of the Senate is at stake, then as a speaker, I need to guard it. Counsel for the County Assembly, your allegory, the Russian allegory, that when the man was asked to say something, he said Russia don't know how to do things, and that's why he was alive. That statement, in its ordinary meaning, could be understood, and indeed it was understood, and that's why Senator Mungatana rose to ask that question. It was understood to mean that the Senate did not do a good job in the first impeachment. I don't know, counsel for the County Assembly, whether you still want to have that allegory as part of your record, or at this juncture, you want to take it away from the record.
Mr. Speaker, my allegory was not a slur on the Senate. It was, as I said, about a person who was lucky to escape a certain fate, and instead of refraining from utterances that had placed him in that fate, continues doing it after the rope breaks. And I was clear in my allegory that even in Russia, this was understood to be an act of providence, that the man in question was lucky. It is our submission that if the Governor Kawira was lucky to be acquitted of certain allegations, the least anyone would expect of her is to refrain from the behavior. So I didn't mean in any way to slur the Senate. In the event that I am misunderstood as criticizing the Senate's decision, then I offer an unqualified apology, and I'll be open to even the expansion of the relevant allegory. And since it seems to cause too many issues, I seem to have been misunderstood, Mr. Speaker, I beg that it be expunged.
Kindly usher in the second witness. Kindly proceed to swear in the witness.
I, Evans Moira Career, do solemnly affirm that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate
in respect of the matters before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Sir, please tell the Senate your full name and what you do for a living for purposes of your identity and the record. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is 𝐊𝐀𝐖𝐈𝐑𝐀. Currently the MCA for Mitungu Ward, that is in South 𝐊𝐀𝐖𝐈𝐑𝐀 South Sub-County in Meru County. Mr. Speaker, perhaps I could beg we be given a small table where I could place my battles because I will otherwise be constrained to keep picking things from the floor.
Sergeant at Arms, kindly help counsel. Make him as comfortable as he can.
Sir, as we wait for that table, can you confirm that you are the mover of the motion before the Senate? I confirm, Mr. Speaker, sir. Can you also confirm that you saw the affidavit? I confirm. On what page can we find your affidavit, sir? Great. Yes, this is much better. Yes, I can manage. Let me take you, sir, to page 33 of volume 1. Yeah, the sworn affidavit is on page 33 of volume 1 to page 36 of volume 1. The signature at page 36 is your signature? Yes, I confirm. Now, let's go straight to the allegations that you have made in this impeachment motion, and I want us to begin at paragraph 10A of the impeachment motion. The impeachment motion, Mr. Speaker, is at volume 1. We are referring to paragraph 10A. In that paragraph, sir, you accuse the governor of irregularly withdrawing county funds through our relatives. Which relatives have you mentioned? I have mentioned the governor's sister, 𝐊𝐀𝐄𝐒, and Kenneth Gwantai Murangeri, who is the brother, and also 𝐓𝐷𝐾𝐄, who is the brother-in-law, and Edwin Mutuma Murangeri, who is a nephew to the governor's spouse. Why do you say 𝐓𝐷𝐾𝐄 is the brother-in-law of the governor? Because it is in the public knowledge. We have seen pictures circulating of them displaying public affection, PDA. With who? With the governor's sister, Miriam Gwantai. Miriam Gwantai. Have you placed any evidence before the Senate to support the allegation that these relatives of the governor were withdrawing funds from the county assembly irregularly, or rather from the county government irregularly? Yes, in volume 2, I've annexed all the evidence there. Which pages of volume 2? From pages 1 to pages 29 of volume 2. From pages 1 to 29? Yes. Let's begin at page 17 of volume 2. To the best of your knowledge, sir, are government agencies allowed to pay for goods not supplied? No, or services not rendered? No, it is against the PFM Act. To the best of your knowledge, are government entities allowed to make advance payments from public funds? It is not allowed. This document at page 17, what is it, sir?
It is a IFMIS extract.
It's an IFMIS extract.
Yeah, for vote 3562, Meru, Office of the Governor. Payment details between 1st July 2022 and 7th July 2023.
Does it have items on the third column described as prepayment?
Yes, under the column sub-item description, you have several entries indicated as prepayment.
Does it show again several prepayments in the next page?
Yes, it does.
Would I be right to say, sir, most of the payments there are actually prepayments?
Most of them are around 171 entries are prepayments.
Are there any payments on this document shown to any of these relatives of the governor?
Yes, there are several prepayments made to the relatives of the governor.
I'll show you a few for illustrative purposes. At page 20, somewhere just below the middle is there, and around the middle, are there payments to 𝐊𝐀𝐄𝐑?
Yes, we have one. There is.
At page 21, do we have several payments payable to 𝐊𝐀𝐖𝐈𝐑𝐀?
Yes, for example, we have one under voucher number 66, 524 to pay to 𝐊𝐀𝐖𝐈𝐑𝐀.
You will confirm, sir, because we are constrained for time, that actually we have tens, if not hundreds, of payments indicated as prepayments to these relatives of the governor between page 17 and 29.
Yes, I confirm, and for purpose of record, one 𝐊𝐀𝐖𝐈𝐑𝐀 appears 31 times, indicated as prepayments, paid a total of 3,144,228. Kenneth Gwantai Murangiri, who is the brother to the governor, also appears 31 times, having received prepayments totaling to 545,500. And 𝐕𝐻𝐻𝐃 Meme, who is the in-law, appears 4 times, having received total payments of 2,887,000. And there are several others who are also not relatives to the governor. But
let's stick to the governor's relatives for now. Under this IFMIS extract, what is the amount in total paid to the governor's relatives as prepayments?
I've stated 𝐊𝐀𝐼𝐈𝐑𝐀 has been paying a total of 3,144,228. Kenneth Gwantai Murangiri, the brother to the governor, has been paying 31 times. That is a total of 545,500. And 𝐕𝐻𝐻𝐃 Meme, the in-law, has been paying for that 4 times. That is 2,807,000.
So the total is how much for Kenneth, 𝐕𝐻𝐻𝐃 What is the total paid to these relatives as per that IFMIS extract?
I've not calculated the totals, but it's around a figure, maybe totaling to around 6 million, an estimate of 6 million. 6 million and some more.
A figure of 6 million. Let's forget the governor's relatives for now, while still on the IFMIS. Does it indicate prepayments to an officer called Kawira Mwangaza?
Yes, it indicates.
Are you able to point a page in which Kawira Mwangaza has been given an advance payment?
On page 23, sorry, there's a prepayment paid to Kawira Mwangaza, Catherine.
Yes.
Of 340,000.
That is page 23 of our volume 2. To save time, sir. And also on the same page, Kawira Rukari has also received 107,500. Several entries are there. Who is Kawira Rukari to the best of your knowledge? Kawira Rukari is the secretary to the chief of staff. Who is the governor's chief of staff? He is known as Njamba Mbiti. So this Kawira, who is secretary to the governor's chief of staff, is the office of the chief of staff an office in the governor's office? Yes, it is an office established under the office of the governor. Does Kawira Rukari work in the office of the governor? Yes, I can confirm. According to this IFMIS printout, how much money has been irregularly paid to Kawira Rukari, who is a secretary to the secretary, or rather to the governor's chief of staff, as prepayments? A total of 21,868,944. 21,868,944. Yes. Let's go to another officer, to be fair, not a relative of the governor, called 𝐿𝐀𝐖𝐈𝐑𝐀. Do you know this officer? Yes, I know her. Who is she to the best of your knowledge? She works in the office of the governor and is also, she's an administrator in the office of the chief of staff. Yes. And also allegations are there that she's the girlfriend to the chief of staff. Let's forget the allegations for now. Is she indicated on the IFMIS as also receiving advance payments? Yes, she has received a prepayment totaling to 3,606,400. Are you able to show us at least one or two so that you're not making a sweeping allegation that she has received payments? Are you able to point a page where she appears, this 𝐿𝐀𝐖𝐈𝐑𝐀, in a prepayment? Yes, page 27. She, voucher number 69901, she has received 500,000. Voucher number 59902, she received 340,000. Voucher number 69900, she received a prepayment. That's enough, sir, because there are several entries. We just need to confirm that when you say she has received payment, it's not just a blanket allegation. You said how much in total has she been paid irregularly? A total of 3,606,400 shillings. Let's go to another officer, Jane Karemi Kaidhia. Do you know this officer? Yes, I know her. Does she work in the governor's office? Yes, she does. In what capacity? In what capacity, sir, does Jane Karemi work at the governor's office? She works under the office of the chief of staff. Okay. What is the relationship between the chief of staff and the governor in the county administration? The chief of staff is the AIE order for the office of the governor. Therefore, he authorizes all payments related to the office of the governor. As a matter of fact, a chief of staff is one of those political appointees governors are allowed the leeway to choose a person they can work with, right? Yes, it's true. Now, the persons we have so far mentioned, sir, Jane Karemi, Kaida, Rose Kinya, Kenneth Guantai, all these people working right in the governor's office. Yes, from the IFMIS, how much amount of money have they received as prepayment in total? In total, they have received prepayments amounting to 78,110,086 shillings. We will later on come to the answer the governor has given for these irregular payments. For now, I want us to go to the next allegation. Which is the allegation at paragraph 10D. To the best of your knowledge, sir, to the best of your knowledge, what is the allegation at paragraph 10D? What is the complaint? NCO 10D? 10D. The diversion and misuse of county resources, including funds and motor vehicles to run the governor's private charity, 𝐊𝐀𝐄𝐄, despite a previous promise to the Senate in the previous impeachment proceeding to refrain conflicting official county operations and 𝐊𝐀𝐄𝐄 operations. To the best of your knowledge, was the question of the relationship between 𝐊𝐀𝐄𝐄 and the official functions of the governor an issue in the previous impeachment? Yes, it was. Was there an issue as to whether in the previous impeachment, whether the governor should commingle or conflate or mix our official functions with those of 𝐊𝐀𝐄𝐄? Sorry, come again. Was there an issue as to whether the governor could properly mix our official duties with those of the private charity she runs? Yes, it was an issue. But have you placed any evidence, sir, to show the governor has been commingling our official functions with the 𝐊𝐀𝐄𝐄 functions and specifically diverting county resources to 𝐊𝐀𝐄𝐄? Yes, I've adduced the evidence on pages 42 of the volume 2, pages 43, pages 48, 49, 50, and 51, and also there's a video in support. Let's go to page 42. What is that document? There's a miscellaneous criminal application number 025 of 2023 in the matter of application for custodial orders. Let's go to page 43 of the same volume 2. What does paragraph 3 say? Paragraph 3 states that on the 17th day of September 2023, the Governor of Meru, Honorable Bishop Kawira Mwangaza, convened a 𝐊𝐀𝐄𝐄 meeting at Bridge International Preparatory School in Makeri area within Maua municipality. Where is Makeri? Makeri is in Maua, just adjacent to the Deputy Governor's home. So this rally was held adjacent to the Deputy Governor's home? Yes. Do you believe it was a genuine charity that was being held at the adjacent to the Deputy Governor's home? I don't believe so, because I watched the proceedings and I also saw the governor castigating the Deputy Governor, in fact praying that a wrath can visit his family. Saying what again? During the rally, I watched the proceedings. Yes. And it was a rally convened to disparage the Deputy Governor, because I saw the governor praying, kneeling down and asking the congregants in the rally to pray so that a wrath can visit the Deputy Governor's family. Okay. Let's go to paragraph 8. Mr. Speaker will later show you why it was important to provide that context. But let's go to paragraph 8. What does paragraph 8 there say? It states, paragraph 8, that the respondents and their group damaged several motor vehicles belonging to the county government of Meru, and for some individuals, that is registration number KEX 574V and KCB 845F, using stones and other crude weapons, and an act which culminated in a cow belonging to the governor being stolen and killed, which is prejudicial to public order and the security of the county. We were told in the opening statement that we are misrepresenting the ownership of the motor vehicles. Is that paragraph clear that the specific motor vehicles named are private?
It is clear because it earns and for some individuals.
It earns for some individuals, and it indicates the registration plates given are for the individual vehicles, isn't it?
Yes.
Does it also indicate that several motor vehicles belonging to the county government were damaged?
Yes, it does.
Should motor vehicles belonging to the county government be present in an Okolea function, which the Senate was previously told is a private function, charity?
They shouldn't, because we have been told previously it is a private charity.
But who is the maker of this application you have produced, sir, at page 42? Who is the applicant?
The applicant is the Republic through DCI Igembe South.
It is the Republic of Kenya through the DCI.
And the name of the DCI is Kelvin Wafula, PC Kelvin Wafula, number 11-748.
Police Constable Wafula, isn't it?
Yes.
Would you, in the ordinary course of events, expect a police officer to make such allegations frivolously?
No, since they were also made in front of a competent court of law.
As a matter of fact, has that police officer sworn an affidavit in support of this allegation?
Yes, he has sworn an affidavit.
Where is that affidavit, sir?
Affidavit is on page 45, 45, 46, and 47 of volume 2.
Again, you confirm the affidavit mentions, I believe at page 43, paragraphs 3 and 8, again, the same motor vehicles and the same allegations we read, isn't it?
Sorry?
Can you confirm that paragraphs 3 and 8 of that affidavit again mention Governor Kawira Mwangaza, and they mention them that county motor vehicles were damaged?
Yes, it does.
What evidence have you placed before the Senate to show that county officials were involved in this Okolea rally and in the mayhem that ensued?
I have placed before the Senate a charge sheet, 2 charge sheets, and also the pay slips for the persons who are charged to ensure that they are county employees.
So where are those documents to be found?
Page 48, 49, 50, and 51 of volume 2.
Let's confirm just 2. Who is the county official charged by the DPP at page 48?
He is called Salesio Munene Kanga alias Samaritan.
Have you placed the payslip to show this particular gentleman is an official of the county?
Yes, on page 50.
At page 50?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I now request that we play videos in support of count 2. They're brief videos, we can have them played. No, in support of count 1, sorry, Mr. Speaker. Video in support of count 1. I don't know whether we're having technical challenges. They should be having sound, Mr. Speaker.
Can the person playing the video restart and put it at maximum?
Bwana asifiwe. Na tuelewane. Tutaurejea tukiangalia tunaigua. Hiyo watasahau. Wapi hao kina mama wazee? Bado tuongezewe. Pastors wakuje hapa kwanza tuombe. Nitolee kama ng'ombe ngenyo kwa eteka ajili ya kwa mwako watu kwa yotetelia. Unaona angalia mwako wako yotetelia. Tunaenda toki nyongera. Tengi ndio itamwanda watu ya. Ilo mkono juu. Back to the center. Ndawa back to the center kwa back to the center. Unaona ukomeni. Ni ukomeni. Eno aleta na mbele. Aleta ngale nene. Eko mimi warusi. Aleta nyumba changu roba. Ndawa back to the center kwa back to the center. Andobakie. Bwana asifiwe. Totiana huwa. Katiba ya Kenya lete Kenya muntu kwenda onde ala kwenda. Oni ndenga bana nteri nyaka ana kumukuma compound ile tukana tia mochili wako nyungwa. Kyote mochili wa muntu. Kwa hivyo kama umepangwa kukuja hapa, tuko hapa tayari, tutapambana kiroho, tutapambana kisheria na hakuna uoga. Bwana asifiwe. Na ingo chokelea ya ile okay ya kuwa no koromo ikawera ari governor 2077 yete kuraya. Ruama na maoro yako ile. Tukutambue. Tukiomba kutambua no tukotumira ana beto kwa maia. Hiyo ni ujinga na ni upumbavu. No ndote kwa wangu ile maia. No ndote maana bakuru ile maia. Yawe ngwana moko kugera maia. Kana wewe wangu ile maia. Tupone kiani neke. Ile tu akotambua. Lakini hii chini tena utumira tu ana toizo ozeri.
In the interest of time, Mr. Speaker, we could move to the next video if he hasn't moved.
Maybe to add, Council, the transcript of what is happening in the video is on pages 52 and 53 of volume 2.
In that video, have we seen the governor addressing the crowd there?
Yes, I've seen her.
Was the crowd initially peaceful as the governor addressed it?
Yes, it was.
Did the crowd at some point turn violent?
Yes, they turned violent.
Would you attribute the violence we have seen with the utterances that the governor made?
It can be attributed to the utterances of the governor.
Why?
Because she castigated the deputy governor and the people there. It's around the deputy governor's home, therefore the crowd turned violent after the deputy governor was attacked by the governor.
Mr. Kawira, politicians attack each other all the time. Perhaps we can't read much into that. But do you consider it normal, even within the rules of politics, for a governor to take a vilification rally right to the home, adjacent to the home of our deputy?
It's not normal, and to hand, this was after the deputy governor and come out and saying that he was mistreated, and therefore the governor had taken the rally near his home so that he can castigate him more, Therefore, the crowd, that's why they turned violent and protested against the mistreatment of the deputy governor because it was the last stroke that broke the camel's neck, if I can say.
Is the violence we have seen in that video consistent with your charge that county motor vehicles were damaged, as we have seen from the police officer?
Yes, but because we can see vehicles being stoned, and the police officer saw an affidavit that county government vehicles were destroyed during that rally, meaning they were present in the rally.
Let's go to count 2 of your impeachment motion, specifically paragraph 12A, where you accuse the governor of misrepresenting as relatives as a technical team for purposes of benchmarking cancer treatment equipment. Have you provided any evidence, sir, to show that the governor misrepresented our relatives as technical people for purposes of cancer management?
Yes, I presented evidence in volume 2, pages 58, page 60, page 68, 76, 77, and 86. And also there are 2 videos to support the allegation.
To the best of your knowledge, sir, is there a county in the Republic of Kenya with an incidence of cancer comparable to Meru?
None, because even studies have shown that Meru has the highest incidences of cancer in the Republic of Kenya.
To the best of your knowledge, sir, is there any other place in the world with the higher incidence of cancer per square kilometer than Meru County?
From studies also, Meru has been stated to have the highest incidences of Kenya per square kilometer in the world.
So I would not be wrong to say Meru is sort of like the world headquarters, for lack of better language, when it comes to this very debilitating disease.
That is true how you have described it.
Would one expect a governor given the opportunity to deal with the disease affecting our county more than any other place in the world to send the qualified people for purposes of that cancer management equipment and setting up the cancer treatment center?
It will be unexpected.
Would you expect a governor to see this invitation to China in a county that has the leading incidence per square kilometer in the world on cancer, to see it as an opportunity for our relatives to go on safari?
It will be unexpected.
Would that be a governor who behaved like that? Would they be in gross violation of the Constitution?
Definitely, he or she will be in gross violation of the Constitution.
Would they be in breach of their oath of office?
Of course, yes.
Let's go to that page 58 that you mentioned. At paragraph 4, does the governor admit that these people we are talking about are our relatives, at least 2 of them?
Yes, she has admitted by indicating that one is a security personnel and the other one, the sister, is a personal assistant.
That letter, sorry, Madam Speaker, I've lost track. I'm a short-sighted man, that's why I was requesting for. That document you just read begins at page 57, right?
Yes, it starts at page 57.
At the top, it says it's coming from what office?
County Government of Meru, Office of the Governor.
This is a letter from the Office of the Governor.
Yes.
To whom is it addressed?
The Chief Executive Officer, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Integrity Center.
And what is the date of this letter?
26th October 2022.
So you confirm as of 26th October 2022 there were already issues about the governor's relatives and nepotism and involvement in the county.
I confirm.
Let's go to page 60. What is that document there, sir?
It's a letter addressed to the Governor of Meru, Her Excellency Kawira Mwangaza from the Beijing League Tech Company Limited.
Who is Beijing League Tech Company Limited?
From the letter, it's a company in China that specializes in linear accelerator machines designed to treat cancer.
What does paragraph 1 of that letter say?
It says, we are delighted to invite you and your distinguished members to visit us in China for you to witness and benchmark our state-of-art linear accelerator machines designed and manufactured in China in reference to our planned cancer treatment center in Meru, Kenya.
So this company planned to set up a cancer treatment center in Meru?
Yes.
And in paragraph 2, what type of equipment do they say the governor and our distinguished team should go and benchmark?
Indicate that they will also have an opportunity to visit other medical equipment manufacturer that produces digital radiography, X-ray equipment, and mobile C-arm that they plan to manufacture and assemble in Kenya, preferably in a designated special economic zone.
Let's go to page, I believe, 76. What is that document, sir?
It's a letter from Office of the Deputy President, State Department for Devolution, addressed to the Principal Secretary from the HRM and DO1.
What is this letter requesting?